Okay, test. All right. I think you can hear me. Can you hear me? All righty. Okay, today is Q&A. So if you have questions, don't be asking personal questions, please, okay? But if you have questions about things, you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you. One never knows. All righty. So just a reminder, today's clearing is the final well of grief, dark force interference. So it should be a good one. It will be a good one. All right. So lots of things happen in the world. Lots of things happen in people's lives. Energy updates coming. I don't know if that's posted or not yet, but we have an energy update talking about what's coming for people. Well, good news is I laugh a lot no matter what, you guys. Yeah. It's kind of like after coming through the 15 months of meaningless and hopelessness of life and accepting that that's it. That's really true. You know, I laugh about everything. So there you go. Fun, easy. Nothing really matters in the bigger scheme of things. So, all right. Anything anybody wants to know what's happening in the world, what we're doing here? Anything? Well, the grief today, tomorrow's dark force interferences. Let me start with that. Okay, tomorrow, dark force interferences. What people don't realize is massive interferences happen for people if you open those doors to the powers of darkness, which everybody has. Okay, so. Okay, hang on. We got a question here. I'll post it. Pin it. I'll pin it. I think I'll pin it. There we go. How to connect to higher self, and why don't I get answers for some questions no matter how many times I ask my higher selves and guides? Okay, so here's the thing. Your higher selves aren't going to give you answers. Okay, here's what your higher selves do. Okay, now, of course, you can connect with them. I'll walk you through it, but basically what your higher selves are doing is they're bringing you your opportunities that you might be thinking, oh, why is this happening? This sucks, okay? These don't feel like opportunities, but your higher levels are bringing you opportunities, which means orchestrating, connecting with other people's higher beings, bringing you together so you have the perfect people that will activate your wounding. I'm not joking, okay? It's really true, okay? So guides, yeah, people like to have guides. People want to know answers. We want to know answers to things. See, and you're not always going to get the answers that you want. So basically, to connect with your own higher selves, remember they're located just like a couple feet above your body, not quite 2 feet. Okay, and there could be several aspects of you that is your higher self. So you can take your awareness and meet them. Go right up into that area. Now, if you're thinking they're going to look like a human, not normally, okay? Now, they might present for some people looking like a human, but they're not. They're consciousness, okay? So they might present as just sparks of light, a frequency, a vibration, an energy, okay? And you can connect with them and you can talk with them. So you just take your awareness, go right up into that area and meet them, ask to be presented, ask to get a sense of, ask for them to show themselves. Okay. And then, you can start your own communications. I mean, you can ask for things, but here's the thing. They're here to help you wake up. Okay. And how that happens is you got to clear out your misperceptions. You got to clear out your beliefs, your conclusions. You got to clear out all the garbage. Okay. That's what we're doing here. Clear it out so you can shine your light. They're here to help you shine your light. Okay. So some of you know, like it was in 2022, in November of 2022, I got scammed bad, and so I just went to California, drove, and I'm talking to my higher levels and tell them, you didn't have to sucker punch me. And they go, oh yeah, we did, to get my attention. Okay. So you just don't know why or how things are happening, but your higher levels are here to help you evolve. Now, that does not mean it's going to be fun. Usually it sucks. Okay. So your guides too, they're different. Guides are different. Guides are usually, around you, behind you, sides of you, sometimes in front of you. But again, you in order to actually connect, you need to kind of meet them. And don't be looking for something like you're meeting a person, like you're meeting somebody else, like some friend or something. It's not that, okay? They're guides. They're guiding, helping. Now, those are the ones that do try to guide you and direct you, whatever. But, here's the truth. Connect with your own knowing, and then you're connected. It's like going direct to the light itself and your own light. And when you have the knowing, follow through. And the more you follow through with your knowing, the more you'll have assistance from your own knowing. Okay, hang on. What is this? We shifted our consciousness from. There must be a question. Can higher self. Hang on a second. I must have missed something. Oh. Did I miss something? No. Okay. Yeah, so shift our consciousness from one parallel universe after another, and that creates the illusion of time and space. And he said, no energy gets stuck in your body unless you stick it there. I can't agree with all that. Energy does get stuck in your body, okay? And it's not because you stick it there, okay? You have unconscious agreements that you've made where you're allowing things to come in. You don't have conscious awareness of that, okay? You're not putting it there. So I have to disagree with that. All the tracking I've done for 40 years, and worked with thousands and thousands of people, I'm pretty clear on what's real and what isn't. All right. What is this? My higher self said to apply for the YouTube position, but I come with little or to no knowledge of YouTube moderating. Yeah, well, I think the position's already filled. So, yeah. Kidding. Oh. Okay, you were joking. Joking. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, what chakra is related to faith and trust, root or crown? Well, the trust issues are going to be happening from that root chakra, first chakra. Okay, that's where your life, death, survival is. Where all the traumas and crisis and situations, all the traumas you've experienced with death and survival stuff, survival issues, and the frequency of faith. Literally, that's more coming from like the heart. Okay, there's a desire to know truth, that type of thing. When we look at the crown chakra, the crown chakra is open to receive information, guidance, and also it does connect you with your higher levels, higher selves, oversoul levels, superconscious levels, God self levels, and creator consciousness as well. Okay, so that also works with that. So faith, though, is something that is like a belief system. Okay, so belief systems are not necessarily coming from crown chakra. Okay, heart chakra is wanting to know truth, but also faith can also be coming from second chakra. That's all the emotional stuff. Okay, all that emotional stuff is your belief systems and all your traumas and things of that nature. Sexual energy connected to sexual energy as well. Okay, hang on. Knowing is from connection to divine crown chakra. Well, how do we say this? Okay, knowing, you're knowing. Okay, you know how you feel it within. Okay, there's a difference. So here's the thing: you get a knowing. You can feel it coming from deep inside. Got it? When you're trying to understand something and you think you're knowing something, or you're trying to question Is this a knowing? Am I getting the knowing? That's a mind thought. So the energy's up here. Okay. But the knowing is actually coming from within, but that knowing is also coming from your divine light. Okay. The part of you that is creation. Okay. You all know this, right? You all know that you are, that you are creation in different forms, different bodies, but we're still all exactly creation. God, creator consciousness, in that light within. So it's actually coming from within. Your light from within has all the knowing, just like creation has all knowing. You have all knowing in your own divine light. Okay, hang on. Okay, hang on. Yeah. Can we imagine a torch made of white flame to cleanse our aura? Yeah, absolutely. You can. Yep. Okay, now here's another one. What is this? Do pets have souls? Yes, they do. And yes, you do meet them again and again and again. Okay. So yeah, they're conscious sentient beings. Sentient beings. Yeah. So critters, dogs, cats, they definitely have souls. Okay. And I've done lots of things and seen, work with different people. Oh, here's one. Okay. My son and my daughter-in-law, that one of their cats that they were, that died. They loved that cat. So when it died, they wanted to get another cat, but they wanted the soul of the same cat. So they found, they were looking. So I got to connect with the soul, brought that soul into that baby. And now they've got it has a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? The things it used to do, and when it had its own body, it's doing in this body now. So it's kind of cool. Can you check Bruno? Go on. Okay, hang on a second. Can you check Bruno groaning? 15,000 documented medical healing. Most describe a beam of light and then they got healed from all sorts of diseases. I'm not familiar with that person. Bruno groaning. Hang on a second. I can track Bruno groaning. Oh, well, there's a lot of people. Think about this. John of God did surgery. He did all kinds of stuff. You all know about John of God. It's just too bad that he did what he did because it kind of negates everything else. It's too bad. But he did a miracle stuff. You know what I mean? He did all kinds of stuff. So this guy, Bruno groaning, hang on. That frequency that's used with Bruno groaning. Yeah, a lot of light. Here's the thing, people. Don't be thinking that because it happened for other people that everything that you're trying to heal will happen for you. Okay, so that's unfortunate, but that is how it works. Not everyone's going to get the same. Okay, and there's all kinds of different reasons why. Okay, it's soul agreements, contracts agreements. How much debris you got in the way, all kinds of different things. Okay, hang on. What's the difference? Okay, hang on. What's the difference between all those clearings for dark entities, like Well of Grief, dark force interference? Okay, what's the difference between those clearings of dark force and dark force interference? Okay, well, what's happening is I'm going topic specific. Okay, so think about this. There's thousands of ways the powers of darkness can be interfering. Okay, one of them is like today we'll be doing the Well of Grief, the dark force interference in the Well of Grief, affecting the Well of Grief. Okay, so what happens is I focus on the topic, the specific topic, and then I unravel the powers of dark interferences from that topic. Okay, so like today when I do the dark force stuff, I'm going to be tracking to get a sense of how is the dark force powers of darkness interfering with you, clearing out the energy in the Well of Grief. Also, any kinds of interferences like castings and curses and spells, things of that nature. Okay, but basically today I will be focusing specifically on the Well of Grief, dark force interference of the well of grief. Okay. Now, other times, sometimes I'm looking at different lifetimes that you've had where you've enlisted the powers of darkness. So unraveling and clearing you from those experiences along with all of your victims. Okay. If you went deep and dark into the powers of darkness, you're going to have victims. Those victims are still wanting retribution, wanting to punish you, wanting revenge from you. So clearing that kind of stuff up. So again, it's really the specific, what is the topic that I'm actually working with? And that's what my focus is on. Okay. Okay, so what about farm animals, the forgotten ones? Okay, so what you don't know is critters come to be in service for humanity. Like, for example, like cattle. Okay, so it's on some level, there's a lot of agreements to be there for the benefit of humans. Okay, so the higher vibrational consciousness of humans is different than the vibration of other animals, and it doesn't mean that they can't evolve into and have higher level consciousness. But most cattle, that's what are, critters, animals, farm animals, when we think about all the farm animals. Okay, yeah, they got spirits for sure, absolutely. But are they evolving out of that? Not necessarily. Some are, some are not. Okay, so it's like that. They continue to continually recreate or come back in and living the different kinds of farm animal, or maybe even different wild animals, but they're still in that animal frequency, guys. So here's the thing: there's different levels of awareness. Okay, for example, you're not going to like this, but it's a fact. Okay, there's different levels of human consciousness. Okay. There's what I call baseline humans. Baseline humans, are people that are locked into strong belief systems, heavy, dark, that just weigh people down, that are very limiting, like Middle East, some of the Middle East. There's definitely low life humans. Okay. They're almost subhuman. I'm not joking. I've been to these countries, many countries, many times, taken groups, whatever. And I literally would, track these energies because it's clear. You look right in their eyes and it's all, it's mostly survival stuff. Okay. And then you have different levels until you have higher levels of consciousness, higher level humans. Okay? It's just a fact. It's not good, bad, right, wrong. It just is. Okay. Yeah. Rhea, sweetie, if you're alive, you will suffer. Humans. Think about humans, the suffering of humanity. Come on. If you are alive, you will suffer. Okay? Doesn't matter what you are. If you are alive, you will suffer. That's it. That's it. How can we learn how to shift energy? What would be the best course? Okay, well, shifting energy. Oh, shifting energy. Okay, yeah. So if you want to learn how to move energy, shift energy, then fundamentals of shamanic energy healing with Chris. He's teaching that. And then from there you can go with David, and from there you go with me. So yeah, that would be the first one, shifting energy. The other one, well, actually Awaken the Shaman, also, that's the basics. Awaken the Shaman's the basics, okay? I've done a recorded program to help people awaken the shaman. Okay, it's called Awaken the Shaman. We'll be having another one, Intuitive View, that you'll be able to do on your own as well. That's opening you up, teaching you how to become and open up to your own psychic abilities. It's not moving energy. Awaken the Shaman is the basics of moving energy, and then fundamentals of energy healing is the next step. So that's a little bit more evolved, where you learn all the basics of what I do. All right. Relatives are being bombarded by dark forces, which are then triggering all sorts of things, which are then coming my way. How do I respond? Nothing feels right. Clean up your own stuff. Basically, there's nothing you can do. I mean, unless these people are open to knowing, what's really going on, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to help them. Meaning, unless you're going to be clearing energy, you're not going to wake them up unless they're hungry or wanting information. Why is it happening? Okay, so basically, all you really can do is, when things are coming your way, make sure that your body's been freed up so that you stop this dance. There's a dance happening. And there's another thing you need to realize is, if you're experiencing something, you have a co-creation here. You have some kind of agreement that you got running here. So clean up your part. The only thing you can work with is you. The only person you can change is you. The only person you can heal is you. Okay, unless you're a healer helping others. But basically, it's all about you. How animals' soul can be incarnated as humans and vice versa. I mean, it can, but usually, usually when you've reached the level of human soul levels, you're not really want to go back down into the lower consciousness. Remember what I was saying a moment ago about baseline humans? You got baseline humans, and you got, there's like three to four tiers of humans, okay? And the ones that I call baseline, they're almost like animals themselves. So there can be animals that would be the easier one for them to go back and forth into, but not normally. They're not normally coming back in as, like, if you're a human, you're not normally going into being an animal. And if you're an animal, you're not normally coming into being a human. Okay. There's frequencies, vibrations, there's evolution, like everything. Okay. If you think about this, when we first came into physical form, we were not coming into physical human bodies, people. Okay. We came in as different things, different, like one-celled consciousness. This is where the experience begins of physicality. So we were coming in, and in that we were evolving and growing continually. Okay. So, again, everyone's at a different level, different stage of their own evolution. And again, it's not a good, bad, right, wrong. It's just where people are. It doesn't really matter. In time, everything evolves. In time, everything will wake up. Okay, cool. Okay, Abigail's saying, I think I'm a bodhisattva too. And then she says, I love to help people. That doesn't necessarily mean you're bodhisattva, but the thing about to me, there's no honor in being a bodhisattva, okay? At all. For me, I remember when one of my students, this is way back, year 2000, in my programs. Back then I was teaching Know Thyself and core, doing lots of workshops, whatever. One of my students who had studied with Rajneesh, with the year she was with him, so high level being, bringing level teachings. And she told me I was a bodhisattva. And I already knew it, but I didn't want to know it. I didn't want to hear it. Okay. But I almost started crying. It's like, this sucks. Why would I want to keep coming back till everybody's awake? That could take a very long time and a lot of painful suffering. Okay. Alrighty. If we had a hopeless crush on someone in this lifetime, will we ever have relationships with them in other lifetimes? Okay, hang on. Okay, let me just explain something. These crushes that we have on people, this is the wounding being activated. Okay, so think about this. Unrequited love. Okay, what would be the wounding in unrequited love, really? Okay, that means you love someone and yet there's nothing coming back. So when we look at the wounding, see, it's always about the wounding, people. I hate to tell you, but it's the truth. All attractions are about the wounding. Okay. So when the clearer you are, then the healthier relationships you're going to be magnetized to. But what's really happening is you have a wound in there that needs to get healed. When that wound is healed, amazingly, you will no longer have a crush on that person. Okay. And You've got soul dancing. You've done soul dancing. So of course, and when we're doing soul dancing, that means you have connections with people throughout your lifetimes. So yes, you've already had connections with this person, and yes, you'll have future connections with this person, okay? And again, it's all about the wounding, our attractions. Like I can't tell you how many people told me, I met my soulmate. Alrighty then, I'm going, you met your wound mate. Watch it play out. And sure enough, of course, the wounding gets activated. That's what the attraction's all about. Your wounding is attracted to the perfect person who's going to activate your core wound, and the same vice versa. That's what the dance is all about, people. It's how we wake up. It's how we evolve. Okay? Okay. Well, everything's vibration. I read that when we eat meat, we take up their pain, body, and suffering. I personally felt pain after consuming meat, and then I quit eating them. Yeah. Yeah. So you are, everything. You guys, I hate to tell you this. Okay. Check this out. So plants, all the plants that we eat, the vegetables that we eat, everything has a frequency and aliveness. Okay. I remember back, this is way back. This is back in the 70s when I started realizing and understanding that even plants felt things. You know what I mean? It's even plants had responded and reacted to our energy, and killing them was traumatizing. Okay. So I had a few days where it's like, there's nothing I can eat, nothing, because it's going to get traumatized. Okay. I had to get over it. Otherwise, this body would die. So everything's here for the higher beings, for the higher, more conscious beings, unfortunately, but it's true. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. What is that? What's Steve saying? Quit in his 20s and 46 and still doing fine. Yeah. Yeah. So I actually, a really good friend of mine, longtime friend I met back in the 90s, early 90s. He had been a vegetarian meditator. He's a teacher too. He's a high level teacher. And he actually ended up needing to eat protein because, this man knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He did everything right, everything, but he still destroyed his teeth because his body actually needed protein. Everyone's different. Some people don't need it. Some people actually do. So for me, it's not about right or wrong or good or bad. It's about, what is this physical body, the form that you're now living in, what does it need to have the best, for your most alive, most healthy way of being. Okay, hang on. What is that? I think my twin flame. I think my twin flame parent should be my... What? When I spoke to my mom, I felt it. I don't feel anything with my blood family. I think my twin flame's parents. Oh, I see what you're saying. Your twin flame. Got it. Sorry, I wasn't quite understanding. Do unclearable persecuting Do unclearable persecuting black magicians exist? One anonymous black magician tortures me physically for 16 years and no one can clear him. In my experience, it's still about finding the root cause. What's really going on with all this? Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to track to the root cause, to the, where did this really originally begin? And then also how to clear that. Okay. So anything can be cleared if you find the root cause of it. Okay. That's my experience. So yeah, it just depends on who you're working with and who knows what they know and what they don't know. All righty, cool. All right, just a reminder today, well of grief, dark force interference. I'll be working with that energy, anything that's affecting the well of grief in that subconscious. That's what I'll be working with today. So that starts in a half an hour, 30 minutes. All right, everyone, thanks for being here. And hang on a second. I'm not sure how this works. My team told me I'm supposed to tell people If you liked our thing, to what? To like us or something. Whatever that is. Okay. If you like us, like whatever, say you like us. Something. Not my area. Okay, everyone. Oh, like and like, share, and subscribe. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Okay, bye.